Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates. And today, WalletHub announced that in their most recent study, Seattle ranks as the #1 real estate market among large US cities. Their study, titled 2020's Best Real Estate Markets, looked at 24 different metrics across 300 different cities, mid-sized cities, small cities, and large cities. And they were looking at two major categories, the real estate market and also the affordability and economic environment. Under the real estate market section, they looked at things like home value forecasts using Zillow's data, median home price appreciation, average number of days until a house is sold, the share of homes selling for a gain, share of listings with price cuts, share of underwater homes, negative equity, home sale turnover rate, ratio of rent price to sale price, foreclosure rate, share of foreclosure resales, share of people delinquent on their mortgage debt, number of bank-held homes for every 10,000 homes, vacancy rate, buy versus rent, break-even horizon, another Zillow data point, share of young homes, and also building permit activities. These all fell underneath the real estate market section. I think it's important to note all these different things. Some people care a little bit more about the details and background, others don't. But I think for those that are more into the data, I think it's important to note these things here. The list for affordability and economic environment is significantly shorter. And this list includes states with the best health infrastructure for coronavirus. This was another WalletHub study they did. And on this one, Washington ranked 17 out of 50, in case you're curious. Housing affordability, maintenance affordability, population growth rate, job growth rate, unemployment rate, underemployment rate, and the median credit score. So altogether, these different metrics were weighted on a scale of 1 to 100, and they took the average of all of the different numbers, and they came up with their ranking for this study. So each city was ranked out of 100, and on this study, Seattle was rated as the second best place to buy a house in the entire US. No matter size, Boise, Idaho actually ranked just ahead of Seattle. So Boise's total score was 68.05 and Seattle's was 67.77. So neck and neck. But as far as the large overall study, Seattle came in as the highest ranked real estate market. On this list, best places to buy a house regardless of city size. So this is the complete list, large cities, mid-sized cities, small cities. Seattle, Washington came in at number 2. Spokane Valley, Washington came in at number 8. Renton, Washington came in at number 10. Federal Way, Washington, number 12. Tacoma, Washington, number 13. Vancouver, Washington came in at number 18. Kent, Washington came in at number 19. Bellevue, Washington came in at number 22. And Everett, Washington came in at number 29. So on this list, 9 of the top 30 best places to buy a house, according to WalletHub study, all were in Washington state. And that's out of 300 different cities. And we're not taking cities out like New York and San Francisco and San Jose and all those places. They're all included in this study. But on this list, overall, out of all the different cities, 9 of the 30 in Washington. Kind of crazy. And I'd say 5 of these cities are kind of in the area that I would service. I could service all of these, but 5 of the 10 are in areas that I service, which is kind of crazy as well. Pretty hot real estate market no matter where I'm showing buyers or where I'm listing properties these days. On their rankings by city size, Seattle came in at number 1 for all the large cities in the entire US. Again, with their score of 67.77 out of 100. On the mid-sized cities, there are some other Washington cities here. So we talked about Tacoma. Tacoma came in at number 5 for mid-sized cities. Vancouver, Washington came in at number 9 for the mid-sized cities. And then in the small cities, this is where a lot of the Washington cities were in there. Small cities, Spokane Valley came in at number 2 out of all the small cities. Renton, Washington was number 4. Federal Way, number 5. Kent, number 7. Bellevue, Washington, number 9. Everett, Washington, number 12. And I have to say this, Yakima, Washington came in at number 32 out of 135 of their small cities. And I had to say that because my dad's family is from over in Yakima, so I definitely had to give them a shout out. I was actually surprised to see Yakima on here. I'll be really honest, but out of the small cities across the US, Yakima is a desirable place to buy, according to this study. Now, that's a lot of data and information. For me, I'm really encouraged when I read studies like this because I know they're taking into account a lot of the things that I'd want to take into account in their study. And no study's perfect. There are holes in the study, and people will, of course, be poking holes at those. And feel free in the comments to give your thoughts. I want to hear them. I really do. And I want to engage with them. So if you have a reaction to this study, I'd love to hear your reaction and your thoughts. I will say in a time like this with the coronavirus and some of the conversations happening in Seattle and the presidential elections, there's just lots of different things going on. And it's definitely a time of uncertainty and for some fear right now. And what I do know is that in these times, there's also a lot of opportunity. And so if you're somebody who is thinking about maybe buying a house or you were curious, like, is this even a good time to buy? I would love to be able to just speak into that situation and provide some advice and input. It's not the right time for everybody to buy. I don't think that. But if you're somebody who is in a blessed position where you have a good job and you have a steady income that you can depend on and you're thinking about staying here in the area for the long haul, it might be a good time to think about it, specifically with the low interest rates we have right now, record low interest rates. I've never had clients, and nobody's ever had clients, getting interest rates like we're getting. And right now, at the time of recording, I've had clients even this week getting quoted in the twos, mid to upper twos, which is crazy, just crazy. So if you're somebody who is on the fence about buying, or maybe now you're not on the fence after watching this video, I would love to, if you don't have a real estate agent, be a resource for you. So feel free to reach out to me. My contact information's down below in the description, as well as the link to the WalletHub study. So check that out and let me know how I can help.